the pretty girl.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kenna and I'm a Cameroonian YouTuber based in Douala, Cameroon. Thank you for clicking on this link. If you're new here, please just click on that subscribe button. It's the red button directly under this video. Just click on it, click on that bell, because that's how you're going to know each time I make a new video. Today we're going to be talking about money. That's one of my favorite topics. Like, I just like talking about money, how to spend, how to budget, and just things like that. So today I'm going to be helping those who may be living beyond their means to know that, oh my god, I've been living beyond my means. It's time for me to steady up. Okay, so yeah, there are a lot of people who actually live beyond their means. I don't know whether sometimes the people are in denial, because you see a lot of people who are living beyond their means, but they're just like, no, I'm living within my means, and they always have explanations because of this, because of that, and that, and that, and that, but not necessarily. So, but that's not necessarily the case. So yes, I just want to talk about living beyond your means. I'm going to be giving some points that you can figure out, like, okay, if this is what I've been doing, it means I've been living beyond my means and I need to start adjusting now if I want to make things better. So the very first point I have is you let fear control your spending. When I say you let fear control your spending, this is what I mean. It just simply means that the fear of being left out, the fear of being looked at in a certain kind of way leads you to now feel like, if I don't do this thing, people will look at me like this. If I don't do this thing, I'm going to be left out. If I don't do this thing, that's what I just mean. Let me give a simple example. Okay, for example, your friends could just get up today and they're like, let's go to Creepy for the weekend, yay! And you're all excited. But in reality, you don't even have money to even feed yourself, and you're like, I don't want to be left out. So everybody wants to go to this Creepy. Then they'll come back now and start saying stories about Creepy this, Creepy that, and I've never been to Creepy. I'll just be left out, so I too must go for that trip. You don't have money, you go now and you start looking for ways to borrow money from somewhere, or you start asking for people to help you, and just things like that. That's you letting fear control your spending. Because normally, if it's not the fear of being left out that is causing you to do that, you just be like, okay, it's okay, you guys want to go to Creepy, I really wish I could go, but right now I don't have the money, so I cannot go, except one of you want to pay for my trip. If you're willing to pay for my trip, okay, I'll go. But if you people cannot pay for my trip, it's okay, I'm not going to go. So that's just the first point. Guys, let me try to get more comfortable. The second point I have here is just the simple fact that you drive a car you cannot afford, you eat in places you cannot afford, you live in a house you cannot afford. How can you not afford this? How much do you make a month? That's just what I mean by you can't afford. If you're making 30,000 francs, my friend, you have to be living in a house that befits the amount of money you're making. You cannot be living in a house that costs let me say 50,000 francs and you're being paid 30,000 francs a month. What are you going to pay your transport with? What are you going to eat? What, in fact, your bills and all that? How possible is it? You have a car that when that car breaks down, you feel like dying because you cannot even afford to buy one single part of that car. That is a bad sign. You have a car that you cannot even drive fully for a month. Like, I know of people in this Douala who have two cars. They have two cars. First of all, it's not necessary. You have two cars, one very extravagant car and the other one is a cheap car. What do? At the beginning of the month, you drive your expensive car because you can afford fuel, and then by the end of the month you start using the cheap car. Like, I don't get it. Somebody explain that to me. I don't just get it. Why not keep one car or sell both cars and get a car in between that you know that you'll be able to afford? So that's just it. When I say you have a car, a house you can't afford, normally if you say they're paying you 500,000, you have to be living according to that 500,000. If you're living a penny more than that 500,000, then my dear, you're living beyond your means. So you have to learn how to manage what you have. If you feel that that money is too small, go and hustle and look for another job. You don't have any savings. Normally, if you're working, you have to save, even if it's 500 francs every month. But if you work and at the end of the month you don't have even 500 francs to sit somewhere and say, I saved 500 francs this month, clap for me. It means you have a problem. You have to be able, no matter where you work, no matter what you do, you have to at least be able to save something, 50 francs every day. I see women who have salons. I see them, sometimes every day they have these people that walk around. They have their meetings that the people walk around, and every day they collect like 500 francs from them. That's still saving. At the end of the year, she has something to sit and say, oh my god, this is how much I made from that. So no matter how much you're being paid, if you cannot sit at the end of the year or at the end of the month and say that, okay, this is what I saved, it means you're living beyond your means. Because if you're living according to your means, you're going to be able to manage your money to pay your house rent, pay your bills, do everything, and then save even 100 francs. That's what I'm saying. The next thing I have on my list is just, you don't have any emergency fund. And this is almost like saving. You don't have any emergency fund that if somebody tells you that, do this now, this thing has happened, we need you to come here right now, you don't have anything. You're just sitting like, let me go and borrow here, let me go and look for money here and there. You have to have an emergency fund. Even if it's 10,000 francs that you have kept somewhere, 5,000 francs that you have kept somewhere, it just depends on how much they pay you. That's just all I'm saying. It depends on how much they pay you. Some people's emergency fund could be even 1,000,000 francs, but you normally have to have at least something that you've kept that you're not touching, which means that if any unexpected circumstance happens, you're just like, okay, at least I know that I have this money here, I can take it and begin before I start thinking of where to get more money to do this and to do that. It is very, very important to have an emergency fund. You cannot just sit and you're just living life one day at a time, and when an emergency comes, you start running up and down and you're jumping and trying to look here, look there, trying to figure out what to do. It is very, very important to have an emergency fund. Have some money stashed up somewhere, kept, so that anything that happens, you'll be able to just go and remove the money and go and start solving your problem before you start thinking of how to look for enough money to do other things. Another point is, at the beginning of every month, you are completely empty. That is, it's as if it's the last week of the month for you, because within the month you use your salary and you exhaust it, and then you go now and you start borrowing money, borrow, and at the beginning of the month, instead of you to start afresh at the beginning of the month, you start taking, okay, I'm owing 200,000 here to move and give, I'm owing this person this, I'm owing. At the end of the day, you have probably just your transport to go to work, or you have just money to eat. If that keeps happening to you, then it means you're living beyond your means. Because I know people who live like that. They live on borrow. So when they pay them, they pay their old debt, and then they go now and start borrowing again to live all through that month. The month ends, they go back, pay their debts. That's how some people live. But if you're living like that, that just simply means that you're living beyond your means, because you are supposed to live according to how much you make. That's just it. There's no magic to it. There's no excuse. It's true that there are times that problems, something could come up and you decide to borrow. Emergencies, when you're really out of it, it is different. But it's not supposed to be something like an every month thing. I know people who live like that, like every single month, and it is not the best at all. You don't have a budget. So like, this one is a solution to your entire problem. You don't have a budget. If you don't have a budget, you always live beyond your means. It's very difficult for it to happen that you don't have a budget and then you live within your means, or you spend, how they say, you spend less than what you make. It's very, very difficult. Most of the times, if you don't have a monthly or weekly budget, you're going to find yourself spending more. That's why I hate when I go to the market sometimes and I forget my market list, because you just start buying. You just start seeing things that you probably don't need, and you're just like, oh, I'll just buy this, I'll just get this. I always ensure I go to the market with a list, because I know that when I'm seeing that list, I see how much I have to spend, I see how much I'll have left, and I'm going to follow it. But if you're just supposed to get up and you're just spending without really thinking, And this is what I always do before every month end. I don't wait for the money to get in my hand, because when the money gets into my hands, there are certain things that I don't need, that my brain will just start telling me that, Kenna, you need this, you need this, you need this, when in reality I don't need those things. So what I do is, before I even hold the money in my hands, guys, I do my list. Like, that is my trick. I do my list. I write every single thing I need for that month. I write everything, the food stuff, everything, every single thing I need. I write it, even if my money will not be enough. And then now I start writing what I really my wants and my needs. If I see that, okay, the money is going to cover all of my needs, then I'm going to think now of, okay, these are the things that I want. If I still have extra money, okay, these are the things that I want. Maybe I can get this particular one for this month, or this one, and then next month I'm going to get, like, and then you have to follow your budget, like follow it strictly. You're going to live within your means. You're going to save. You're going to see that things will just be going smoothly. Like, that's just it, honestly. So those are the points I have. If you see that you're living beyond your means after watching this video, you just have to sit down and re-examine yourself. And like I said, the solution to your problem here is you budgeting. And don't budget over what you make. Budget according to what you make, and you're going to be happy with your results. And I just feel that this thing of living beyond your means, most at times, is just the main thing. The main trigger is always comparison, because you're always trying to compare with people. I know people who don't even make the same salary, but you see them trying to compare. This person makes like 5 times the other person's salary, but the other person is trying to compare with that person. And I'm like, what are you even thinking? You make less than 5. Oh my god, that person's salary is 5 times more than yours. So how can you be trying to live like them? That person is living the way they live because they know that they have the means. If you cannot live like that, it's okay. It's one step at a time. People grow differently. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this video helps somebody. I hope to see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.